Ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da. I cannot tell you, I say this every show. Joel Felsenstein is like, I know his face is lighting up right now. Joel Felsenstein, the founder of Rockstar X, is the one who created that intro outro video for us. He is an autistic and just neurodiverse genius. Different, not less, my friend. Thank you for shouting that out. Thank you for all the work you do. Thank you for Rockstar X. Thank you for being a partner with us. And thank you for that amazing video. I got to shout that out to him. Today, my friends, can you feel the energy in the house? Can you just sense what is about to go down in this place? If you can't, maybe you need to adjust this a little bit, clean it off, get these things in, because I mean, it is about to come, my friends. Yes, we're going to be talking with my buddy from across the sea, Kevin Moreau, a misfit, Mr. Mingle in the house. He is part of the Hounds community. He is an amazing human being. And today we're going to talk about social alchemy, what he's got planned. He's got a masterclass coming up. We want to spread some joy and love and talk about what he's got planned and what he's doing. So first and foremost, let's give it up. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Moreau. Bonjour, my friend. How the heck are you?
Bonjour, Chason. I am marvelous. I am very, very good. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be on your podcast today, on your special event today. I have so much appreciation, so much care, so much love for you, man. You're such an inspiration. I really deeply love what you stand for. I love that we connected through the Hounds of Business that our friend Mike Ashabrana founded, and that we've been able to connect as misfits, as fellow misfits across the seas, as you mentioned, but definitely connected through geekiness, nerdiness, misfitness, so manyness, Loch-ness probably, whatever ness you want, Elliot-ness, why not? And yeah, I mean, thank you so much. I deeply, deeply appreciate your introduction. And well, actually, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I didn't know that Joel wrote that those amazing guitar riff, and it makes so much sense. I love Joel as well. He's amazing. He's such an autistic star. He shines so very bright. This is the most blinding, which is exactly how things should be. I'm a big fan of Lisa Nichols. I don't know if you're familiar with that amazing lady. And one of her very most famous quotes is, "Don't dim your light. Let it shine so bright that other people might need to buy themselves some shades." and that's, when I see people like Joel or you, I think about Lisa Nichols and about that amazing quote. And that's what I want for as many of us. As you mentioned, different doesn't mean less. I'm a huge fan of Seth Godin. I don't know if you're familiar with that man. Seth Godin is an amazing icon of mine, an amazing role model. He created the concept of the purple cow in marketing. And basically, imagine seeing many white and black and white cows, and suddenly you see a purple cow on the side of the road. What will you do? You won't just drive by. You will stop the car, maybe actually crash your car in a tree.
You've been yes.
Right? Then take pictures, right? Celebrate that purple cow. And I feel like all the people that are deeply different, deeply unique, and all the neurodiverse, all the LGBT, all the misfits out there that just can't hide their difference. not even if they couldn't, right? Not even if they wanted to. I really want all those people to shine the brightest, so bright that they will blind others.
Nice. I love that. I love that. It reminds me of that song from the late 80s, 90s, that band said, "The future's so bright, I gotta wear shades." That was the name of the song, I think. But yeah, it was actually a husband and wife duo that wrote the song. And anyway, but yeah, I love that. I love that. And there was a friend of mine. I keep close to my desk here a poem from Marianne Williamson, who talks in the poem itself. It's called "Our Greatest Fear," or excuse me, "Our Deepest Fear." And there's a segment that says, "You living small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure about the light that you shine. We should all shine like children do." And it just like that, I'm like, I hear what you're talking about, and I just go, yes, 1000% yes. Oh my goodness. So let's dive into it, my friend. You got a lot going on. So let's talk about what you have going on. What the heck is social alchemy? Why should people care? And and then we'll get to like, what's the event you have going on? And I'll post up your Bitly for you. And yeah, let's dive in.
So yeah, I love that question. Thank you so much. So social alchemy is something I coined recently, and actually it's something I've been living by for a while now, and it just hit me. You know what? Apparently, not so many people see their social life that way, and I really want to empower others and to help them, basically to help them create an exceptional social life the way I created one for myself. And also what I call social alchemy is, okay, just let me rewind a little bit. The idea is, very first, is I see social life through different layers. The most common layers, especially for entrepreneurs, is the connections layer, right? The network of connections, extremely important for entrepreneurs, extremely important for all the beautiful people you serve, because if you want to build a career, you want a healthy network, a supporting network, right? So that's one layer. A layer closer to us is a circle of amazing friends supporting us, cheering us up, improving the impact we have, really having good, powerful, very healthy relationships, close relationships. We call friends, we call homies, we call besties, we call whatever we want, carnal in Mexican Spanish. And that would be an extremely important layer that not so many people actually deeply invest into. And then we have one that is quite familiar for the people in a personal development journey, which is actually ourselves and the relationship with ourselves, and actually seeing ourselves as our BFF, our own BFF, our own best friend forever, and really serving ourselves and connecting with ourselves and celebrating ourselves like we were our very best friend. And many people want to do that. Not so many people are actually able to do that, at least on a regular basis. And to me, the idea is really to combine all those layers and to create a healthy social ecosystem. I really see it as an ecosystem, as a living thing, and where you co-create, you collaborate, you create a wonderful harmony between all those layers. And like every win in one layer will directly impact and transform all the other layers across, and that it will support all of that. And because you make better friends and more close and deep friendships, you will naturally extend and expand your network. And by expanding your network, you will naturally find even better friends, even closest friends, even deepest friendships. And you will benefit from that, and you will improve your own well-being, your own self-care, because you are so well surrounded. So in the gist, it's that concept. Really, social alchemy is the ability of combining all those beautiful ingredients and creating all of that into a healthy, amazing, blossoming ecosystem.
I love that. I love that. And thank you, Felicia Ward. Felicia Ward is our board of director president. Thank you, Jody Forehand, who is our board of directors secretary, and just my beautiful wife. Thank you for those that I can see. If you're on your phone, I probably am not going to see it, unfortunately, but we'll catch up on the comments later on. And thank you for anyone else that's here today that's watching this, and all the people that will be watching this after the fact or will see this on our YouTube channel. But I would just want to go back now. So you said connection layers, the circle of friends, and then our relationship to ourselves. So 3 great things that we were talking about. And I want to dive in a little bit more because we have the time to do it. So let's kind of deep dive a little bit more. So the connection layer, you are talking about your general network. Is that what we're talking about? Like those people that are in your connections, how you reach out, and that experience of getting outside. For someone like myself, I'm only going to speak for myself. So someone like myself that has some trepidations or fears around, especially in-person networking, but breaking out of that mold and being uncomfortable a little bit to start to create more connections and put yourself out there. Right?
Yeah, so, actually, so to me, those 3 layers is kind of a shortcut, right? Actually, if you want to go deeper, it's much more complex than that. There's amazing research around it that actually points out there are 6 different layers of social relationships without counting ourselves. Okay. And without counting what I call the unknown. And basically, it's all the strangers out there that you never met and you never were in contact with, or maybe you just shook hands and you never, interacted with them. So actually, it can go as far as 8. And yeah, it's too much. You don't want to juggle with all of that. It's way too complex for most people. So it's much easier to just have 3 different categories, and then if you want to go deeper and more granular, we can play with that. But let's
all right.
go.
Take the first one. Take connection layer and dive in a little bit more about explaining what that is. Just expand on that a little bit and tell the audience what you mean by that connection layer and what that's like.
So basically, it will be all the people that you don't really consider as close enough friends. The people that are not really revolving into your daily life, or the people that you really can count on. So it comprises many different people. It might be colleagues, it might be work partners, it might be people in your network, like on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Many people that you have contact with here and there, but you're not that connected with them. You don't necessarily have a very high level of trust. But still, and actually, so some people call all that layer, all those people, weak ties.
Weak ties.
Weak ties. So it's a way. Personally, I have mixed feelings with that word, because weak.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Obviously, there is a negative ring to it, but still, well, what is very interesting actually is those weak ties, they are much more strong than your strong ties for some things. Especially like if you're looking for a job, you have much higher chances to land a job through your weak ties, quote unquote, than your strong ties. Your network is more useful, has much leverage than your friends, which is very fun. And there are other things. So you absolutely don't want to disregard your network, even if you're not an entrepreneur, even if you're not looking for a job. You want to nurture, you want to have a healthy network, because guess what? Among the many upside of that network, the many things that network can provide to you, it's also potential fresh blood for your friends. Any single of your connections in that network, if you dig a little bit deeper and if you spend a little more time, you actually might discover, hey, you know what? I want to befriend that person. We have amazing commonalities. We share same values, and actually just scratching a little bit the surface, you might discover amazing things. So you might have your future best friend forever hidden amongst your network, and you don't know yet. So there's a lot of permeability. Is it a word in English? When you know that you have a lot of mobility, and actually I feel it's the right time to share that one. You probably know that every 7 years almost our entire body is renewed, right? Almost all of our cells are renewed every 7 years. Oh, wow. There are very little cells of the human body that remain after 7 years. There is something kind of similar with social life. Every 7 years, you will only 50% of your social life will remain the same on average. You will have a lot of mobility. Some people that were your very best friends, they might be only distant friends. You don't see them anymore. You started to go each in a different direction, or you might not see them anymore. On the contrary, some people you never met before, they might become very close to you. They might be business partners. They might be your love partner, actually. So there's a lot of mobility. Sometimes just a little bit of mobility. Sometimes they will just move one circle, one social circle at a time, and sometimes they will make jumps. So there's always mobility, whether you like it or not. A social life is a living thing. It's an ecosystem, whether you see it as it is or not. So you better embrace that idea and play with it intentionally. It will serve you much, much more powerfully.
Well, I love when I'm thinking of the three things that we were talking about, this connection that you have to people that are in that outer layer, people that you know through social media, etc. Then your circle of friends, and then yourself, and how all of this revolves, how your view of yourself is constantly evolving, and how you're constantly, I can only speak for myself, but how I'm constantly working on different pieces of my life based on what stage I am in my life, and how that affects the people that are in my best friend circle, and those people that I call friends that are maybe not my BFFs, but they are people that I'm close to. And then that outer circle of people that I rub elbows with is what I like to call it, the people that I rub elbows with, the people that I'm, because I'm with you. I don't like the word weak. And so the people that I rub elbows with, and how those three things are almost in that triad of like they're constantly moving and they're constantly kind of, the circles are interlocked. So my question to you is, you said, every 7 years about cells, regenerating it. And I know I've done a lot of studies. I've done a lot of reading about how our bodies change, because I've seen that happen in my own life. And what would you say from a perspective of someone who's like, all right, I'm brand new to this whole thing of social alchemy, and I really want to take care of myself, take care of my friends, take care of, and do a better job of making more connections. How do I start with social alchemy? What does that look like from the very beginning?
So that's a fantastic question. And I'd say very first, take a good long breath. Calm down, because it might be like way too much. Like imagine just the self layer, just the yourself as a BFF layer, just that. Actually, it's the point of personal development as a whole. Just that one is a total holistic approach. Just that one, it might take decades to master in itself, right? Even without all the friends and connections and etc. So it's a journey. It's a marathon,
Yeah.
and you better treat it like a marathon. So what you want to do is first have a good, step back, look at it as a bird's eye view, and go easy and go small, but steady and intentional, and really figuring out, okay, what do I feel is the most important to me right now? Where would I like to see the most progress right now? And really focus your efforts and your intentions on that specific layer. And like rule of thumb, very typical, especially for new entrepreneurs or someone looking for a job, their priority will be their network, usually, right? If you just discovered personal development, if you started your personal development journey, or if you're really into that or extremely spiritual, etc., usually you will focus on yourself. You will really focus on treating yourself as your pillar and going around that. And if you're someone that just moved cities, that is feeling lonely for any number of reasons. Maybe you just went through a harsh depression. Maybe you just, had a big impact on your life, like your love partner for decades just left for any number of reasons, and now you have a gigantic hole in your life. You probably want to focus on friends. But in my opinion, all of these layers matter, and you want to nurture them all at once. But you probably want to start small and start on one specific at a time, and then build upon each other and really intentionally create bridges and find ways to actually make them connect, make them intersect, make them collaborate, so you fill your life with more and more wonder as you progress.
I love it, and you're saying the exact same thing, but I love that Felicia said this intentionality. I mean, boom. I mean, you have to be you have to be aware, and you have to be intentional about this journey. So yeah, I mean, I love that. This is a great point, Felicia. And I love that. I mean, you're saying it. You're these three things are going to be constantly in flux and moving, and those circles are going to expand and contrast at different points and stages in your life. There may be times in your life where the circle around you and taking care of yourself needs to be a lot larger than any of the other circles, as you just said. You may be in a space where there needs to be more self-care, there needs to be more self-awareness, there needs to be more self-love, then so that you can eventually give more to your networks, to your friends, to your BFFs. That can't happen. I love the saying, I always say it, and it bears repeating over and over and over again. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you haven't taken care of yourself, you are going to just be, there's going to be nothing to pour. So it's got to start. It really has to start with you, but it is all interconnected. And I love that you said that. So let's, I want to dive in now to, all right, let's talk about the master class that you have coming up. And I will show I'm going to put this up now in our banners. This is your bit.ly, and I'm going to leave this up while you're talking about this, but tell people about the masterclass, and I'm going to reiterate some of the points in the chat.
So that masterclass is about social alchemy, and it's really targeted to a very specific type of people. So I work with Misfits. I made the choice to focus on my fellow Misfits for, to me, a very good reason. I genuinely believe that every single person on this planet could benefit from better relationships. We're very social species, right? Human beings. We are extremely social by nature. Yet the misfits, as I call them, and you call them the same, right? Basically, and I'd like to explain a little bit because for some people it might not resonate, or you might have a very negative image of that, because misfit, that the thing, it tends to be used in a negative way. So misfits to me is really, as the name states, misfits, people that don't fit because they are different, because from childhood or teenhood, or because something drastic happened, an accident, something traumatic happened, and they change drastically. They are very different, and they feel different, and they appear different to others. And for many people, it shows very early on when they are kiddos. And because of that, usually, though all those very different people, they are rejected somewhat, especially by kids, because, and I don't blame kids to be so harsh on the difference. Actually, to me, it's just they're building their own identity. They're trying to figure out who they are compared to their parents, trying to actually sift from what they received from their parents, from what they received from their peers and all the culture surrounding them, and they're trying to figure out their own way. But they still don't have the tools. They're just kids. They're just trying to figure it out. And the easiest way for them is to reject anything that goes against what they feel comfortable with. So the natural tendency of most kids out there is just to reject difference, which is very sad. But that's just the way it is, right? It's the way it works. And because of that, all those very different, very unique peeps that I call misfits, they get rejected, they get discriminated, they might get bullied. Many of them get bullied, and they are scarred for life. It leaves scars. It creates shyness. It creates social anxiety. It creates many different source of illnesses and disturbances. And especially they might start to have unhealthy social relationships, or unhealthy, deserving take on social life. And so that's why I believe my fellow misfits, and I say my fellow because yes, I am absolutely a misfit, a proud misfit now, but I used to feel like an outcast. I've been bullied, I've been discriminated, etc., because I was different, I behaved different, I thought different. And I believe all those misfits, they need support even more than the people that were able to fit in. And actually, to me, they're missing the point. To me, it was never about fitting it in. Sorry, what we want is to belong, not to fit in. So actually, the people that were able to fit in, I feel they just were stuck into a deadly trap because it's making them bland. They have to just tone down and blend in and blend in so they can fit in. So they're dimming their light, which to me doesn't make any sense. I believe we are all, each and every one of us, we are beautifully unique, and we deserve, the world deserves for us to shine our light the brightest we can. And the thing is, us misfits, we just can't hide our light. We might try, but usually we do a very bad job at it. We tend to be very bad at hiding our light because we are so deeply different inside. So, yeah.
Man, I love that. And your buddy Isabel, one of our fellow hounds, is here. Rochelle, who I just met on a show, one of our DEIAB shows, Meeting in the Middle. Thank you for joining us. Isabel, thank you. Willis, thank you for being here. Jody, thank you for being here. Felicia, thank you. And Isabel, I love this statement. Fit in is the opposite of belonging. Absolutely. I mean, never dim your light. I love that. And you're absolutely right. As we talked about earlier in the show, that poem from Marianne Williamson, we should all shine like children do. We're talking about children and how that social alchemy starts, but really we are products, a lot of that environment, what our parents are teaching us, what we had to pull from, what we see in society around us. And then that forms the beginnings of these relationships and how this begins. So this is, I mean, I have to say that it is the beginning. And for like you said, and like I can relate to as well from my own journey, and we're not here to talk about that, so I'm not going to dive into that, but I'm going to say that I know that there had to be some course correction. So I love the fact that when we talk about social alchemy and we talk about the three bubbles that we mentioned earlier, that is those circles, as they contrast and expand, they become what creates the social alchemy. And all three of them that you mentioned are connections, those people we rub the elbows with, our friends and our BFFs and ourselves. All three of those components, as we grow, develop, and learn, unlearn, relearn, and fail forward, that all of those great things become this social alchemy that you're talking about. So I love that you're doing a masterclass on this. I love that. When is the date for the masterclass, my friend?
So it will be on April 23, Tuesday, April 23, and it will be at 12 p.m. EST. So
all right, so Tuesday, April 12th at noon.
Yeah, at noon. Exactly, noon Eastern time.
Yeah, cool beans. All right, well, I've just posted that in the comments as well. Hello, Miguel. Thank you for joining us. Love that. Great to see you, Rochelle. Thank you so much. Miguel, thank you for being here. Turning lead into gold. Absolutely. I mean, it really, and I'm going to put this up here just so people can grab it. It's going to be on the background when you see that. We'll leave that up for people as we end the show, but we still got some time. So we're going to talk a little bit more about what are you going to dive into some of the things that we talked about here in Social Alchemy, the Masterclass? Tell people what to expect from the Masterclass.
So just to precise, so it's April 23 to
April 23rd. My bad. Okay.
Yeah, it's my French accent.
No. Yes. I'm going to delete this. I love that you can delete the comments from here. So that's all right. There we go. I'm deleting my own comment. So Tuesday, and I can't see it because the background's there. Tuesday, April 23rd, right?
Exactly, yeah. April 23rd.
Tuesday, April 23rd at noon Eastern time. Okay, now we got it right. We'll put it right in there. There we go. Let's try that again.
Perfect.
Yes, I said to Isabel's going to love this. So I have my Berlitz French book from college still sitting on my desk here. And I can say maybe a handful of phrases. So, and yes, his French is fantastic. I'm just deaf. I literally am just hard of hearing. So yes, he's fantastic. I love it. There was like three of you. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Wendy Ann Jones, Isabel, and you that were all on a hound show, and you guys were all speaking French, and I'm just in the background. Isabel, I told him before the show, I said, I don't even care what you're saying. It just sounds so sexy and beautiful that I can't stand it. I just want to sit there and listen. All right. So, okay. So now we have the date right. What are we going to dive into in the masterclass, my friend?
So yeah, so I told you how important it is for me to really speak to misfits, and so that's the core of my coaching practice. So this masterclass I really dedicate to misfit solopreneurs.
Okay.
And why that? Because very first, I believe entrepreneurs in general, they need even more to have that alchemy. First, so as we mentioned, that network of connections is absolutely essential if you're a business owner, if you have a mission, a higher purpose bigger than you want to have a very healthy network, right? But you also want to have an amazing circle of friends, a support system of friends, or even better, what I call a thriving system. Just support system it would just make you sufficient, which is already great. Don't get me wrong. Having a support system is already a very, very good thing. Not so many people have that. No, why stop there? Why stop at sufficient when you can go abundant and wild and thriving? So really my vision of the bestest way to deal with that and to surround yourself with the absolutely most exceptional people you can surround yourself with and spend proper time with those specific people, really cherry-picked people. I call them ikigais. I don't know if you're probably familiar with that Japanese concept of ikigai, when you have your magical, your absolutely best activity that really make you absolutely king of the world. And the idea is really to adapt that concept with people and surround yourself with people like that very famous line from Jim Rohn, that we are the sum of the 5 people we hang out with the most. And really to cherry pick those 5 people and spend the most time with the people that really can bring the very best to you and really elevate you at the best. And of course, as it's a two-way street, you want to do the same for them.
Yeah.
And so entrepreneurs, it's extremely important for them to have that kind of support extremely powerful network of connections, amazing friends around you, and taking good care of yourself. I learned that lesson the hard way during my first run as an entrepreneur. I wasn't carving out the time to see my friends, and I did very bad work at taking care of myself. So I went to burnout town, as so many people here, and it cost me years of my life to recover. So I know very well why we want really to have that healthy ecosystem and really nurture it, because that's the worst in my case. I already had exceptional friends. I had all that support system or even thriving system waiting for me. I just wasn't spending time with them, which to me now seems ridiculous. So that's why really I want to focus on entrepreneurs and actually solopreneurs. Because when you are an entrepreneur and you have a team around you, you're already half good, right? You have a team, you already have people supporting you, understanding you. Hopefully, as long as you choose the right team, right? You surrounded yourself with the right team members, you're already doing a good enough job with at least that part of the journey. Now, if you're a solopreneur, you don't have a team. So you want to intentionally surround yourself with people. Otherwise, you will have a very harsh journey. And once again, it's a marathon. Being an entrepreneur, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you better be sure you are nurtured the right way and you are surrounded with people that support you, that understand you, that cheer you up, that kick you in the butt when it's necessary, and that is bringing you joy and growth and yumminess on a regular basis.
I love that, because you absolutely have to have those people in your life that are going to be the accountability partners, the people that will hold you up, that will shine a light, that will be there when you need to hear the truth. And sometimes it's not easy to swallow, but it's always fantastic coming on the opposite when you come through it, when you work your way through it. It's difficult while you're in the suck, but it is much better as you get through it and everything kind of gets to a place where now all three circles are really healthy and that social alchemy is working. Those three components are jiving together and working as like cogs in a wheel. It's actually moving in a functional way, because we think of that. I think of it like almost the machine of who we are. That social alchemy and those three pieces are like cogs. And if any of them are off, it doesn't function, and things start to grind to a halt. So I love that you put the three pieces that we talk about, that you understand the solopreneur journey and that you're guiding and gearing this towards really making sure that people understand themselves, their community, the importance of their community, and their friends and their BFFs, and how all of that works together. Is there anything else as we start to wind down the show and put the last pieces together of all of this? Is there anything else you'd like to share with anyone to get them to understand the class, what you're doing, or say anything else about social alchemy?
So yeah, I'd like to share a few things. Very first, if any of you in the audience have any question, I would be happy to answer them. So just feel free to leave a comment if you would like to know more about any side of social alchemy or the upcoming event. I just want to say about what you mentioned, about being in the suck. And that's the thing, you don't want to wait until you are in the suck to improve your social life and to really be intentional about it because it's already too late. You might still recover from the suck. You might, get back to health like I did. But you don't want that kind, burnout or depression or any hardship like that to rob you years of your life. When actually some maintenance, some tending, your ecosystem like a garden, it doesn't require so much effort. If you just allocate some decent time every week and just nurturing all 3 layers that you probably already do. If you're an entrepreneur, you already probably have time for nurturing your lead list, expanding your visibility and your network on any social media platform you like. You probably already have that as a system, right? So the idea is just to allocate some time. It doesn't have to be much, but some time with the right people. And actually, the element of time is extremely crucial because that's the thing. Entrepreneurs, they have a very, very limited time for anything else than building their business, right? We know that super corny saying time is money, but that's the thing. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're building a business, when you're building a powerful mission like Chason is, you are extremely intentional with how you allocate your time. And that's why you want to be extremely intentional on who you are seeing and why you are seeing them. Why are you spending time with those friends? And what do they bring to you? And how do you nurture their relationship, etc.? And if you're really extremely intentional with your resources, so with your time, with your energy, with any form of resource that you might value, it can be focus, it can be money, anything that is important to you, then it really changes the game. It doesn't have to take much time to really nurture amazing friendships, take real good care of yourself, and expand a wonderful garden of connections.
No, it's fantastic. You're so true. We've had a lot of great comments here. No questions beyond what we've had, but beyond what I've asked you. But I know that Willis and others have said, hey, that they want to go to your masterclass, and so I love that we're able to get this out, and the people that will see this even after the fact. And thank you for everybody that's here today. But even the people that see this after the fact, I know that we're going to have people that will sign up for this. And we'll post again about, on our social media platforms, we'll post again about Social Alchemy, and you can send me the information so that I can get it out on our social media about what you do, because I love you to death. Think you're awesome. Love the hounds. Great to see some of the hounds in the house. Hounds in the house. So, yeah. Whatever we can do to support, I think it's fantastic because I love this topic, and it is great. Yes. And I thank you for doing that. I thank you both. I thank you both. I thank Kevin and Isabel and everyone else. Hey there, Kristen Vaughn. I haven't seen you in a while. I got to catch up with you. So good to see you. And yeah, so anything else you want to share about Social Alchemy before we end our time? You said before that you had a couple of things, and one of them I love that you said that you corrected kind of where I was at, and I love that, and I appreciate that. You're right. Don't wait till you're in the suck. Don't wait till you're in D-Day. But it's great to have those people that are going to, if you are there, if that's where you exist now, don't not start this process because you think, oh, I can't do it. If you are there, work with Kevin and others to get yourself in a frame where the triad of things that we discussed earlier are actually going to be functioning. And hello, Noni, thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. But also the other thing is that, hey, I love, thank you, Rochelle. I love that you're saying, hey, don't wait Don't wait for that. But anything else you want to share before we got to close it out? We're at that time, my friend. I love you to death, but we got to let people go tend their gardens, tend their, whatever that means. If their personal garden, their social garden, or their actual garden.
So yeah, I want to just make a giant shout out to once again to the Hounds of Business and to Mike Ashabrunner, because actually it's one of the shortcuts to really play with social alchemy and see massive results in your life is joining the right kind of community. And there are many communities out there, and whoever you are, whatever interests you have, whatever hobbies, whatever kinks you might have, guess what? You're not that unique. I believe we are all beautifully unique, but we also share many different things together. And communities like the Hounds, actually, there are not so many that are so impressively amazing at the Hounds, where actually you can cover all three layers all at once. You can develop your network amazingly. You can find real, genuine, beautiful friends in this container, and you can learn how to take better care of yourself. So there are not so many communities like the Hound. There are others. You might already be part of one or two, but once again, the Hounds are absolutely amazing to play around, and I'm so happy to be in that kennel with so many of you here. And yeah, just if you're curious, if by any way what we discussed today at least spark your curiosity. And yes, I didn't explain too much about the masterclass itself, and you will see if you check the landing page, it's very raw. Like I throw something together real quick before the call because my actual landing page is not ready yet. I have many moving pieces to figure out yet. But just get in the loop. If you're curious, just reach out or get in the loop, and I feel you will like it. And actually, the masterclass will be a kind of entry door. So, of course, the masterclass is, of course, free. And I haven't shared that one actually. So I will be sharing a mini guide that I'm creating, which really combines the most yummy nuggets I got in all my years of in-person networking. So I'm Mr. Mingle for a reason. I'm really good at networking. And in-person networking was my go-to way during my first run as an entrepreneur before the internet grew so big. So I have very juicy strategies, tactics, and tips to share. So that one is absolutely for free. So if you join the masterclass, you will get that mini guide for free. And then I will host a follow-up event when I won't teach or I won't share much information, and it will be pure playground. It will be an opportunity for you to network, to make potential new friends, basically to start playing with that idea of social alchemy, a container to just see what happens when you follow those ideas, very simple core ideas, and see what happens. And of course, that one is free as well.
Love that. Love that. Willis just put in here that, you guys should connect because he's like, I'll help you with that landing page. See, bro, the people are like ready to like jump out. You are the man. You're the man. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you for taking your Saturday to join us, to hear the master, Mr. Mingle, the Misfit master. I love him. Appreciate him. Appreciate the Hounds. Appreciate everybody that's been out here today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here on a Saturday. And thank you, Kevin, for being on the People Community event show today. I am Chason Forehand with HR for You Incorporated, and we will catch you next time. Let's give it up one last time for Kevin in the house. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.